Hi everyone, and welcome to another video of our Websea walkthrough. And today we're going to talk about fees. So we'll be talking about Websea fees and generally crypto fees. Some of you might have wondered why you pay fees for transactions. It is quite easy. Why? Because it helps reduce spam, congestion, unwanted messages, due to the fact that blockchain transactions are relatively cheap and transaction can be processed at any time and any part of the world. Fees are used to incentivize miners. So let's talk about the fees we have currently on Websea. Our first fees is the future fees. So I'm going to click on this link. Or let me just right click to a new tab to check our futures fees. So while it loads, now there's the Websea futures fees. We're going to walk through this pretty fast. So this is an upgraded plan, as you can see, which was updated about a year ago. And it has levels. The VIP represents your level in terms of your holdings. As you can see here, we have ways by which you can get the VIP is one by holding. So if you hold Websea token up to 10,000 Websea token, you get a VIP of one. Another is your trading volume. If you've traded both your close and open, short and long trade on the futures market up to 10 million US dollars, you get a VIP of one. And your trading fee for maker simply means if you place an order. If you place an order in a trade, you're a maker, you're making a trade, you're making an order. So your fee is just 0.03. Then for taker, your fee is 0.055%. So if you notice, the maker fee is relatively very cheap. Why? Because you're placing the order, you're trying to more like adding liquidity, more like adding an order. Why a taker is just someone who jump into the trade, jump into the futures trade, and just take the position at that moment. So their fees are relatively very high, and so on. So we have a VIP level up to 10. VIP 10, and you need to hold 2 million Websea token to get the VIP 10 status. And of course, the fee is, very, 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 very cheap for the maker, and the taker is just 0.05, which is almost about, 10% of the VIP one, roughly 10% for the VIP, yeah, for the VIP zero. All right, so this is that on the future trade. So we have the spot fee as well. So for the spot fees, relatively very easy. Spot fees are those your regular fees. There is no bind with contract. Of course, your spot trade, if you trade on Bitcoin or you hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, they are all available on spots. We call them spot trades. So if you make a spot trade on Websea, the fee is just 0.2%, for maker and taker. So whichever way, if you're making the trade or you're taking the trade, the fee is the same for the spot. So this for spot, relatively very simple as it is. Now for the network fee. So we have what we call the network fee. Network fee is just giving you more of, information on the network fee notifications. Now, on Websea, your asset withdrawal. So we have what we call the network fee, which is subdivided into 5 categories, which we'll just explain here. So these are the factors that affect the network. So we have the dynamic fee structure. So sometimes if the network is congested, the fee can vary. The fee will tend to be dynamic. So one good factor is congestion. So if there is a lot of flux, a lot of transaction happening in a particular chain for a particular token, there will be network congestion. That's transaction will be relatively slow or delayed. So as a result of that, in order to reduce too much of transaction going on, too much of request going on, the fee will of course jump higher. So of course it says a high transaction volume fee tends to increase. Definitely, if everyone is trying to, trade on, or try to, perform a transaction on a particular chain, the fee has to go up so that it is people for of trying at that moment, or they can try later in the day or later in the night when the network is a little bit more stable, because network become unstable and the fee has to be very high. The reason why fee is high is just to help those who genuinely want to make that transaction at that point in time, to carry out that transaction. Of course, there could be so many attacks that could make a network congested. There could be multiple requests. And if everyone sends 0.01 Websea token, multiple times, they definitely it will give that signal. It will make the congestion high and thereby increasing the fee. Another is block specific factors. This is very common with Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you look at Ethereum, withdraw on Ethereum and withdraw on Bitcoin, they are relatively always very high. During the day, during the weekdays, Ethereum is very high. Then on weekend is about roughly up to half the price on the weekdays. So take note of that as well. So network fee notifications. Of course, Websea makes fee notifications transparent as possible. That is, for every transaction you make on Websea, there's a notification telling you that, okay, this is the fee you have to pay, this is the amount you have to pay. There's no hidden fee. There's no hidden charges. Of course, Websea, tries our best to make it very, very possible that all fees are displayed publicly. So why fees matter? We've discussed this already. Want to process transaction, incentivize miners and validators. Also for network security, to make the blockchain more secure, more available for use, so we don't have so many attacks to it. So that's why there is a fee. So if there is any form of attack, of course, the price of that transaction will go up. Now, user responsibility. Of course, a user is important for you to know these factors when planning your withdrawal. So always know these factors. Like I said with Ethereum, during the weekdays, very, very high. If you want to enjoy the minimum transaction on Ethereum, you have to try it during the weekends. Now, avoid high fee. Of course, you need to avoid high fee. Very important. You avoid high fee. So that's why you use exchanges like Websea, and also use some chain that are relatively very cheap for your transactions. So it helps you reduce paying high value for a token transaction or for a token transfer. So that's that we have for this week. I hope to see you in our next video. Bye for now.